I think we're gonna be friends.
Don't do that. Hey, now we're here. All right, you ready? This is it, dude. We are back recording. I haven't done a podcast in like, I don't know how long it's been, like since December.
Damn.
Whatever. Fucking Gilbert. Gilbert got really busy. He finally got a job, which is great.
Yeah.
He got a job. Well, like an official job, I should say. An official job where he's at the Dome. And he registers people in, make sure they have their green cards and stuff, and then they send them in. That's for what I understand.
Something like that.
I don't really know what happens, but I'm glad that he's there. But like, it's been really hard because I've been wanting to do this, but it's hard to find a co-host to do this with, right? 100%. Someone that's reliable, that has time for it. But right now, we're all in the spectrum of like, it's gonna be June, and it's gonna be the busy fucking season. Let's catch up with us real quick because we have not talked. I don't know. You went on a trip to Bermuda.
Yeah, I just got back like 2 days ago.
We have not talked in depth. I mean, I kind of let you alone just so you can like. I think I only called you one time.
Yeah.
Out of the whole thing, just to make you know, I'm not desperate for your friendship or anything. It's just like I just called to see how you were doing because you never know. You're in a different fucking island with people I don't fucking know. I know one of them.
Man, that sounds like jealousy.
I'm just saying, like, you come back with your kidneys missing, it's like, oh, fuck, okay. Then it's gone. You know, I don't fucking know. But tell me about fucking Bermuda. What's been going on with life? Where are you at right now? Let's go with that.
Holy shit. Okay, there's a lot to unpack since, like, last week they're, like, spoke are really caught up. But,
yeah.
Rundown of Bermuda was just, like, a fun little breath of a trip since the last few months have been kind of hectic with, I guess it's not really been that hectic, but I've just been realigning my time and priorities. And honestly, like, taking time for myself to really feel like I need to lock into the person I want to be. Which it was just a little, like, more metaphorical than I guess I was planning on it seeing.
You had what's called, like, a trip of discovery in Bermuda?
Kind of, yeah.
Okay.
Granted, like, among other things, it's been a progress because nothing, like, always happens overnight.
Yeah. But
it was definitely an awakening from the past few months have been, like, really just, like, grinding super hard for the Shirts and Skins band. I'm just, like, I have back-to-back shows starting tomorrow. There's my big calendar up here.
Yeah, giant shit.
Then a bunch of shows, like, throughout the rest of the season.
Yeah, and the season spanning from tomorrow. Well, tomorrow's your first gig.
Yep, and then June through November, we have, like, only 16 gigs booked right now.
Only 16, no big deal.
Yeah.
Yeah, no big deal.
No big deal.
Jesus Christ.
And so I just had to learn a bunch of songs and get pretty much, like, I didn't have to. It was my own decision, but my own process and decision to do what I want to do, regardless of other people's opinions or, like, influx on the matter.
There was people pushing against that?
Well, there's some people that are like, well, why are you doing this, and, like, questioning.
I did say that as well, because I was just more of like, I think for me, I want to, whenever I want to take on a new job or a new thing, I want it to be in something I love. So that's why when I picked up DJing for Midwest Sound, I'm like, oh my God, this is perfect because I can make side cash
100%.
on the weekends when nothing's happening, you know? Like June, I've got 3 gigs in June. I had 2 gigs this month and it's like, oh my God, that's a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, but like my pushback on it was just like, okay, well, you had the band, right? And I don't know, like we were talking right before you left of like, okay, who's gonna be in it? What's the turnout gonna look like? And we started booking that show for Mousetrap, which is another gig, which everybody's on board. And we haven't talked about this. We can talk about it later. But but we haven't really talked about like what's gonna happen months from now of like what's your plan for this. And we had the way I see it is like you'll want to do things differently as we all do throughout the year or throughout the months. It's like as new songs come in and out and all that stuff. So I was just like,
100%.
My standpoint was like, what's gonna happen to the band and what's gonna happen to like us hanging out, which is I think totally like this makes it sound like I'm like super dependable on it, but I'm more of like, no, I'd like to know where my friend is at.
Yeah, 100%.
You know?
And that's also kind of goes hand in hand. I mean, like, I've had different band situations where, like, friendships, like, honestly, even, like, with our guitarist, like, friendships fall through, like, even when, like, band stuff goes through. It's interesting to watch, like, dynamics that way. But that aside, like, yeah, there's definitely a vision and a thing I want to take. It's just taking a lot of time developing, like, the base stuff for this stuff. Yeah. But going back to, like, the reflections of realizing, like, I put in a lot of time for what I want, and it's not always, like, seen or regarded as what's the words, like knowing what I'm doing.
Yeah, because like we all kind of have a general outline of what we would like to do, but like something will come out of the blue and be like, "Hey, there's an opportunity here where you can
100%.
make some money in a different way." And when it came with me with Midwest Sound, I'm like, I don't fucking know how to DJ, but like I went in and I took the classes, I applied myself, and I'm top one.
Yeah.
I'm a fucking topper. I've had like what 17 or so shows, 5 stars all the way across.
Good stuff. Yeah.
So it's like I understand that like a new opportunity will come in, and if you say no to this, what'll happen tomorrow? You know what I'm saying? So like I kind of get that, but you know, that pursuit.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And I realized like now that I've finished this, I guess not finished with the bass stuff, but I mean like finished with like kind of the rehearsal side of things. I'll still
Yeah.
have to practice, and it'll take another like 2 months to kind of like still leave time for myself to practice.
Yeah, yeah.
But some revelations of just like thinking about my past and the recent few months of like the emotional side of things I've been going through with relationships.
Yeah, which
That's,
I know a little bit, but like we don't have to get into it. But I know a little bit of it,
Yeah.
and this is deep talks.
Just a little bit. I've been super grateful and like content with, I guess, where I'm going and like the paths I'm choosing now. But I still like have heartache like every day.
Yeah,
But it's enlightening to see that like I guess seeing the choices I'm now making
Yeah.
for like what I want, and that I've spent a lot of time like dedicating to music or projects and like avoiding certain like feelings or whatnot. But now I realize that like even with past years of reflection that I'm pretty much like trying to just go back to make sure that I'm not overextending myself so that I'm so strung out.
Yeah.
I don't have time for people, or myself for that matter. And so like, bottom line, like yes, music is like more than just a passion and more than a hobby and more than just an obsession. Like I need music,
yeah,
but I really wouldn't have it without friends and family. And so
yeah.
making sure it's not just like, oh, I have time for them. It's like actually mentally taking care of myself. And that was kind of the switch in my brain that kind of clicked again. Like I've known and felt it before, but letting it be my own decision and feel that I'm taking care of myself because I want to, not because
Yeah.
it's like, oh, I need to or have to or whatever. Like, granted, it seems like a very like stupidly just like push through it, man through whatever, to like just disregard your feelings and take care of yourself, but letting all of it kind of combine and
Yeah.
do that at once.
Yeah. No, that's fantastic. I'm glad you touched upon this. Our mental health is like the one thing that's like can be so fucking thin, and if we don't take care, because like we always talk about like we want to work out, we want to get better, we want to get our physique better, but we don't do that for our fucking minds.
Right.
You know?
And it goes so hand in hand with like how we operate.
Oh yeah.
And I kind of pull on like the last relationship from last year. I took care, like I mentally got myself so hyped up and egotistical that I was just on top of the world, and then rode that for months.
Yeah. And by the way, that I think was the worst I've ever seen you. I think I remember telling you that like I don't like the person you're becoming, but like I think that was maybe
I think that was kind of later into it,
Later?
because like
Yeah,
I was
yeah.
doing really good with myself, and then I stopped taking care of myself.
Yes, yeah, and then I think you were hitting like a fuck ton of nicotine thing, and you're trying to quit as well, or something like that as well.
It is a combination of just a
Yeah.
lot of things, and then I don't know what. I think it was a combination of them,
Yeah,
but I'm trying to self-reflect to see what actually happened, because to me it's still a mystery, but I think just not taking the time to like open up with the people I needed to open up with, and then
Yeah.
just like I had my own dreams and pursuits, and it felt so stressful that like I was putting myself on time frames that I knew I needed to do that other people couldn't comprehend.
yeah.
Like it wasn't a matter of like, oh, you can just like take your time and put out the album like when it comes out. Like it could have come out whenever it needed to.
Yeah.
It was a necessity for
Yeah.
like my body to push that out.
Yeah, and that's the biggest difference with like a lot of artists in the scene right now. It's like they're just a lot of people, and bless their souls, they're out there playing music like every day, but it's like, what are we actually doing for our legacy to live on when we die?
Right, and
You know?
to have their like thought and intention behind it, because there's like a lot of beautiful songs
Yeah,
and emotions and
that
range
you'll
of
never
things.
hear.
Right.
You'll never hear.
But the most passionate ones, like I was able to write another couple songs recently
Nice.
because it really just like came from my heart and soul.
Yeah.
That I was like, holy shit, like I'm finally like letting go and like getting back in touch with myself.
Yeah, which is not an easy thing to do. I lost that feeling of losing yourself and like becoming. I think that happened to me 2 years ago when the business was going down, and I think it was I was talking with this with Gilbert in one of the Deep Talk episodes where like, what happens if I just gave up everything? Would I be okay with living in complete content of being nothing for the rest of my life? And I'm not saying that there's a lot of people I know that are just happily married or just parents, and that's all they ever want to be, and that's the only thing they ever need to be. And then I really reflected. I'm like, if I just gave up drawing, if I gave up music, when am I actually going to be happy? Mm-hmm. And then there was a rage inside me that pulled back, like as if there was another person inside me that grabbed me and was like, no, we need to make music. We need to make art because we have a point to prove. And that there's a need. And we talked about this when we were talking about challengers. There's people that need to play tennis and there's people that want to play tennis.
Yeah.
And that's, if you can like wrap your head around like that concept for everything, dude, people see the world in so many different colors and shades and all that stuff, and it's like the not so much the competition mindset, but of a necessity of the human component of it is not, you know, how do I say that? It's the thing that gets us to, I don't know, wake up and do things, but like in a more focused manner, in a more sharper focus.
100%, having that drive and desire. And then it's fascinating for like in relation to challengers, we both know people in the scene that I'm thinking of that have been doing art creatively for years now, that it's habitual. People like come out and release music and they're still excited about it. It's just I don't see there's not a lot of drive, but they still put out stuff.
Yeah.
Which is contradictory to what we've been saying, but it's another element to just be aware of, that like you can see some people unconsciously going through like, oh, like making things. Now maybe that's just my own perception.
Yeah.
However conscious they might be of their own
and I think the main thing is like they will put out or not put out anything, but it's the feeling of I'm finally doing it. It's like, well, what are you actually doing? And I empower people to chase their dreams and to play music or to do art, but tackle it with a project, tackle it with something that can actually push you further, because that's what I see was what happens is like people just kind of stay in this beginner level one
well
phase.
It depends on like they don't know how to describe their definition of success.
Yeah, that too.
It's like, well, what is your definition of success? You know, to think that for some people it's like, wow, I learned a couple songs I can play. I got to play in front of some people, so like Sociable Site or
and that's totally respectable too, because that, like, if you're like someone that's like a shut-in, what do you call it? I forget the
like
word.
An introvert or something.
Exactly. Someone that has a fear or like another component of it, like a fear of actually going out and talking to people, public speaking, or playing music for the first time in front of people, and you've never done it before. That is a huge accomplishment. Just to play in front of random strangers in this little bar, like it's fucking crazy. That's a huge accomplishment.
Yeah.
For me, my definition of success with music, I know what it is, but it's like, not everybody has that. Not everybody has the want and need. For me, it's to play at Coachella. You know, it's to play at these giant, enormous festivals like my favorite bands have been doing. That is my definition of, that's how I know I have succeeded, is when I'm on that stage. That's my definition. Mm-hmm. But everybody has a different thing, and it's all respectable. And it's not to downplay it, but it's more of like the self-reflection that you had. A lot of people just don't have it, which is, I think everybody takes their time to do it, which is why like it's so, I always forget this. We're like 10 years apart, and I still keep forgetting that you're still developing as a human, as a person. And I've always been in here to kind of like, how do I say this? Not guide, but kind of like throw you an opinion or like a thing to just see, like, challenge your perspective, right? That's always what I think my best service as a friend to you has been. And you have other friends that help you like get out of your shell, or just like Kevin, you know, like he'll call you up randomly, hey, let's go have some fun, and it's like, fuck yeah, let's go, like right now, you know. So you have other friends for other needs, but I feel like I want to always have like a presence of like, I've lived through what you're gonna live through or what you've already done. But in any case, regardless of that, you didn't really go into specifics of Bermuda. Real quick, just talk about some of the events that happened.
Yeah, we soon as I landed the plane, we went straight to the producer's house. Case.
Case.
And so we made a banger song. Hopefully that comes out sooner than later.
Like 2 years from now.
Dude, it probably. Like, I want him to release it, like, in the next 2 weeks.
Hell yeah.
It'll probably be months, if not years.
Hell yeah.
But great song. I do have a sample of it. Maybe we could clip it.
I mean, that'd be great, yeah.
And then soon after that, then we went straight to, like, helping out Bermuda Day. There's some people who, like, set up the floats and, like, decorate and do, like, artsy stuff
There's like a festival
for the
or something?
parade. Yeah.
Hell yeah, that
And
sounds
so
fucking
on last Friday, there was a thing called Bermuda Day.
that sounds fucking awesome.
Yeah, so it's just like this big parade and festival thing that happens.
The
and
weather
so,
was really good too, right? Like
it
that
was
whole
decent.
week?
Yeah, it was like cloudy a few of the days, but
But cloud in Bermuda is like still like a fucking
super nice. But then it always like clears up too. So like, you know, every half hour it might be a different weather.
right. Oh fuck, it just rotates like crazy. Oh yeah, you guys are
Yeah.
off to the coast, right, or something like that.
Indeed, it's a couple hours off the coast of like South Carolina.
That's crazy. That's fucking
But then after that, did the parade, did some other things, walked around Front Street a bunch, which is just like all the bars and things. So that was super fun.
hell yeah.
A lot more things that I can't mention on the show, but then
Yeah.
yeah, just had a great time.
Dude, that sounds good, man. That sounds good. At the time when you left there, I was doing my own introspective things. I picked up my PS5 again, and I started playing Final Fantasy, and I pieced the fucking world for 2 weeks. I was like, I'm not talking to nobody. There's no band practice. I'm fucking saying nothing. I didn't hang out with jack shit. I just did. I had my 2 DJ events, and it's nothing but fucking Final Fantasy Rebirth. Oh fuck, that game destroyed me, dude.
Dude. Okay, I finished Code Geass.
Oh fuck! We're gonna have to talk about that in the next episode. I've been trying to get him to watch an anime that is my favorite anime of all time, and he finally finished it. Okay, next up, we'll do a next episode because we're running out of time here. But real quick, my fucking I forgot, like we were talking about mental health, dude. My fucking standpoint of it has been like, okay, yeah, I'll go to work maybe two days out of the week, and then just fucking Final Fantasy.
Is that your reset? Is that how you take care of yourself, by like kind of becoming an introvert for like a week or two?
That's how I reset life, bro. I'm a huge introvert. I don't know if I thought like, how do I say this? I don't think a lot of people know that about me, but I'm a huge introvert. I love to stay inside. I love to be in the studio. Right now, dude, I haven't touched music in like 2 weeks. Just I recently picked it up because of band practice, and we have a new song we're gonna try it out. 2 weeks of no music.
But we've talked about that before. We're like, as musicians, and we have our hands on things.
Yeah.
It was my experience in Bermuda that like other than acoustic. Oh yeah, I played an open mic, and so
Yeah, I saw
a
that,
lot
yeah,
of people were like, "Oh my god, you're like the greatest pianist I've ever." And they were just like, "All right, just cool your tits." Like
in Bermuda, let's go.
But it was wild that like it wasn't until like the last day that before I left that I got my hands on stuff. But like going 4 days without music or like being able to play music, it's one thing to listen to it, but like I couldn't play it. I was losing my mind.
That's what's going on with me.
But it was just a reset of like, it felt like a breath of fresh air when I finally like played that open mic and people were like, no, just like stay for a couple hours and just like be the backing band for us. And
what the fuck, dude? That sounds like a fucking riot right there.
And then I was just ripping the keys. I'm like, oh, this is why I play piano.
Yeah.
And it's if you've ever done like drugs in your past or something and you've experienced like tolerance.
Yeah.
It's like when you take a tolerance break.
And
there's nothing like
shit back
when
in. Oh fuck.
Taking another plug.
That's exactly what it was for me, man. It took me. I grabbed my guitar and I started playing again, and I felt like, what the fuck am I doing? This feels so fucking foreign. So I started playing. Usually my routine is I'll play like along to my favorite songs on YouTube, and I'll just kind of loop some videos and try to get the muscle memory back. But I think that's what makes us stronger musicians, because it's like you have to forget something to learn something new. So I feel like every time you go a break without playing music and then you pick it up again, you forget all the bullshit that like you don't really need. And then now the muscle memory that's actually important comes out. And I was like, oh fuck, I'm back again.
Yeah.
It was weird. But here's the thing though, the reason why I haven't played music, not only because of Final Fantasy Rebirth, it's just been taking my fucking time. I haven't connected with music right now. I'm in a disconnect with music. As in, like, I put out Major Arcana, and that was a huge fucking accomplishment. Just getting that song to sound fucking amazing. And it's now out available. Yeah. That took so much time and effort to put into that I felt like, I need a break. So I'm gonna reward myself. I got fucking my PS5. But then after that, I was just like, I will try to listen to music on YouTube or Spotify just to like put something in the background. Nothing is connecting with me emotionally.
Right.
I feel like there's a huge disconnect with me and music right now, where I tried to make a song today and I'm like, I don't even know what the fuck I want to make. You know, there's
Yeah.
nothing that's coming out. So it's like, and I have to get back in there because I think I told you this is my last year of making music. I think this is it. Like I have songs that I want to put out, all with the purpose, and after that it's like I don't know if I can ever make a song that can top the next one or can top it in this genre, if that makes sense, because I feel like that's my biggest thing is like I can make any music in any genre, but like is it going to be as good as that song in that genre, if that makes sense. So I feel like this is after this year I know exactly the songs that are going to be for the rest of this year. I don't think there's anything else I can do to top it. Now there's going to be things that happen that influences in our lives, and that's what I'm saying. Like for me, I'm an introvert. I'm a broken person. So when the inspiration, you know, like of love or like emotion that comes into me, there's nothing in my life right now that's like where I can feel an event is going to happen and I get excited. I get excited to play Final Fantasy, but that doesn't help me with music. Whenever there's an event of like, oh fuck, today's going to be today we're going to go play a show. That day I can write a song because there's emotion inside me. I'm dead like 90% of the time. That's a real fucking thing.
Yeah.
That's fucking real. Besides that, I've been catching up with a fuck ton of anime, like a lot of anime that I haven't seen of the seasons, because anime comes out in seasons and stuff like that, like winter or summer kind of periods and stuff like that. So I've been catching up with a lot of anime, and there's some good shit out there. Final Fantasy I beat it. It took me 2 weeks. I put in 120 hours in that game. 120 hours. I didn't eat. I barely slept. Somehow we're fucking here. But going back to the mental health thing, I was literally just in my chair, in that fucking gamer chair, and I developed this like fucking stress neck kind of thing like right here. So after like not playing video games and just like working out back again, because I started doing that, like, dude, it's getting better. But like, you could tell like, I've been just locked in. Do you know that term, locked in? I've been locked into that shit for fucking 2 weeks. No, like people come and like, hey, do you want to hang out? Nope. Hey, we have a concert in our house. Nope. Fucking cancel all that shit. I don't give a fuck right now. Just fucking Final Fantasy.
Dude.
And now we're back.
You're nuts for that.
Yeah, and now we're alive, and I'm glad that I got to come out and do this podcast, because this is like one of the very first resurgence of like I'm back in society.
Yeah, man.
You know?
Dude, I relate to that way too hard. Kevin called me the other day, and we were chatting before. It was just before rehearsal.
Nice.
And I feel that too much because like I don't have reason to go out because like I can work from home for now and for the next month, but then and then for rehearsal, like I've just been like staying shut in just to practice bass.
Yeah.
And so other than groceries and spending like 3 minutes going to like Cub Foods and then coming back.
Yeah.
And using self-checkout, I might not interact with people.
Yeah.
And that's like a detriment to like not interacting with people or going outside for that matter or seeing sunlight.
Dude, going out in the sun is it's so good for you. And it's like, so I will open up my curtains, full blast of sun just hits you. And
Right,
it's like,
but it's still not the same. Like,
it's not the same.
The reason I moved my studio up here into like one of my guest bedrooms is the fact that like I need sunlight, and thank God we have it, and I can open windows and get fresh air.
Oh, dude, it's a game changer.
It is significant game changer from what like the depressing thing was downstairs.
I was used to it, but when you put it up here, the fact that you have windows and we can see outside. Yeah, man, for sure.
But still, like even
I feel it.
Even this is like 50% or like 20% compared to like what it is like to just step outside with like barefoot on the grass, facing the sunlight.
It's been a minute. Man. And there's there's so much more stuff to talk about, but we'll wrap this one up. We'll talk about it in the next podcast.
Let's roll the next episode.
All right.
Thank y'all for watching.
Bye-bye.
I'm glad you came along, partner.